Welcome, everyone. It's my honor to work with the El Dorado County Office of Education. I'm Pat Greco. I'm one of the senior directors with Huron Student Education, and I've been working with El Dorado County for more than a year now, and it's my pleasure to introduce this gallery walk. Michael Gillespie is the executive director of the Charter Alternative Programs. Maria Osborne is a principal at the Charter College Career Prep. These are leaders who are difference makers, who take the opportunity to think about how do we connect directly with students. You're going to hear about the use of empathy interviews and direct supports to really make that difference for those hardest to reach children. You're going to find it informative and really a positive connection, both in leadership, learning, and really that outreach to the people we serve. Enjoy.
My role at the El Dorado County Office of Education is the Executive Director of Charter Alternative Programs. And so I oversee programs. We have 4 student programs that are K-12 programs. We have adult education programs out in the community, but also for incarcerated adults and youth. And then also we have 23 extended day daycare centers for after-school care for school-age children that I help to oversee, supervise, and support.
My title is principal of the Charter College and Career Prep program here at EDCO, which is one of the 4 programs that Michael referenced. Our school is in a rural community, and we are a community school and a charter school. And as a community school, we service students from all over the county that are either expelled from their high schools, are released from juvenile hall, our referrals by CPS, or student attendance review boards, the SAR board. We serve those, but then we're also a charter school because of the options that we offer to students. We are also a school of choice for multiple families based on a number of factors.
What were the barriers that you were seeing for your students who were not attending school regularly, who were not earning credits, not doing kind of what we need and want them to do, and how we are structured to support them? And how do you think our changes in our program are helping to break down those barriers and meet the needs better?
I think the biggest barrier was, this is our program and you must fit into it. That was the biggest barrier. And so we dismantled that thinking, and we have become the school of, we'll meet you where your needs are. An example I will use is our unaccompanied youth, our foster kids, our CPS kids, our kids who are struggling either with something or another, don't necessarily make it in every day. And they were getting negative data for attendance. Every one of our kids has access to a Chromebook now, and every one of our kids has access to a hotspot. So the student who called me this morning is one of those kids that lives 45 minutes away who said, I'm just not feeling great and I'm not going to make it in. He said, but I promise I will do my work. And that's not an anomaly. We're hearing that over and over and over again. So I think the biggest barrier was saying, we've built this structure and you must fit into it. And we're like, no. Our feedback is showing us that if we individualize a program for every student, we can meet them where their needs are.
Were there any professional development needs or opportunities that came from either the feedback loops you were having with students or rounding that you did with staff? Were there any pieces that you've now are scaffolding into the professional development for your school?
I'm glad you asked that question. Yes. So as a staff, we organically built this program that is here now, but we realize now that we also need to reinforce what we've learned with outside sources. So this year, we're meeting 4 times with Ricky Robertson. He is a well-known speaker and advocate of rural schools. And I've seen him before, and so he's going to be meeting with us as well. We're also going to have some specialized training in LGBTQIA+ training, and also with ACEs Collaborative, which is that adverse childhood experiences. And also through ACEs, there's also a thing called PACEs, which is positive childhood experiences. So I'm glad they've added that aspect to it. So several avenues of professional development for the staff, because we know what we did was strong and powerful and compelling, and we need to sustain that with professional development.
And if I could just tell one anecdote from the end of the year last year, it was the year of COVID. modified program, really reaching out. The staff and students were reaching out. On graduation day, we did an outdoor graduation last year. I had a parent, or maybe I think it was actually a grandparent, kind of seek me out. And, she was saying, Mr. Gillespie, I need to say something to you. And she came up to me and said, this program literally changed my grandson's life. And she attributed to the principal, obviously Maria, but to the staff and what we do to serve these students. When students come to us, they come to us very kind of fragile, I would say. They've had poor experiences in school, they have poor experiences in the community, and so our school gives them a home. And it was really reaffirming to hear this grandparent come up to me and say how wonderful this school has been for her child who was not successful in another program, and how much it meant to have them walking across the stage and graduating.
I think it's important for people to understand a school does not function in a silo. It is a reflection of the leadership. And with the work with Studer and People First and Service is Everything, when you have an organization that believes what it says and does what it believes in, then the outcome can only be excellence for kids. And I truly believe that if we did not have the support of our organization and our county office, I don't know if we'd be that successful, but I don't even want to think about that, because the belief in the process by everyone who's involved can only mean a positive outcome. So I think it's important to acknowledge that.
And I would just add that getting feedback from people that you serve and then actually using that feedback to improve what you're doing is basically the magic, because when people give feedback, a lot of times you fill out a survey and nothing changes, or you have a conversation or like a staff meeting where there's issues that come up and they just kind of get brushed aside. But truly, by doing rounding and structuring feedback so that staff feel heard and they can see the changes that are happening because of the feedback they're giving, that just makes it more powerful, because there's more buy-in from staff and they feel like they're part of something, not just a participant.